Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting new video for you. I will be ranking all of my luxury handbag purchases from 2019. But before I get started, I have two quick updates that I'd like to share with you. The first one is if you watched my previous videos, recently I shared a few little goodies that I have and I was planning to use it as a giveaway and just mail it out to someone. Well, just yesterday on Instagram I announced the winner, so congratulations to Daisy to May. Hi dear, if you're watching, I will be mailing out your goodies later this afternoon to you. So if you missed that, it was this Gucci little booklet that features the women's cruise collection for 2020. It's super cute, very colorful. And then it was also this 2020 calendar from Fashion File. Since I received two of these, this is a duplicate. And it's just really pretty with lots of eye candy for every month. And then also a new nail file. So these three, this little trio, will be going out to my winner. And then I had hinted in my last video that there's going to be another giveaway, a really special giveaway coming in February. So please stay tuned. And if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and join in on the fun. And also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos and you don't miss the giveaway announcement. Okay? Second update was on the recent video I did around investing in LVMH. That's Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, the publicly traded company that owns Louis Vuitton. A lot of you had followed up and asked me for another video, so I did part 2 where I featured a story behind Bernard Arnault, who is basically the man behind LVMH. He kind of runs the company, and he doesn't kind of, he does run the company, and he is a multi-billionaire in the top 3 billionaires of the world. So I hope you found those videos fascinating, and I got a lot of questions around whether or not I owned LVMH stock or was I going to buy LVMH stock, and my answer was I'm still doing my research and collecting information and trying to make an informed decision. Well, I do want to announce that just yesterday I did purchase some shares in LVMH, so I am now a part owner, or I should say, a part investor. And I am an investor. Yeah, I'm an investor and a part owner of LVMH, so I get a piece of the pie here. The stock price when I filmed my very first video that was titled, Should You Invest in LVMH? Shifting from Consumer Mindset versus, or to Investor Mindset. At the time, the stock price was about $93. And then just a few days later, I filmed part 2, again, where I shared the story around Bernard Arnault. And the stock price had soared to $97, and it was basically at an all-time high. And I don't believe in jumping in at a high point, so I waited, and lo and behold, yesterday the stock price came down to below $92, so even lower than the first price that I had quoted and shared with you guys. So I got a good price, I think. So I went ahead and bought some shares, and if all goes well, I will continue to invest and buy more shares. I do believe in the company, and I do think that they will continue to grow globally. So I wanted to just answer that question for you, because a lot of people had DM'd me on Instagram asking me what was I going to do, and did I buy shares, and how many do I have, and all of that. So hopefully that answers your question, and then we can get started on the handbags. I do apologize if there's some background noise. It's early morning, Friday here in New York City. There are sirens and honking. Oh, just on cue. Yes, lots of noise. It's like pre-rush hour, and there's just all kinds of noise. And if I were to edit out every time there was noise, I'd be editing every second. So I hope you could just bear with me and stick it out through this video. Okay, so I'm going to start with my most favorite and possibly my most used luxury handbag that I purchased in 2019, and then go downward from there to my least used. Okay, so bag number 1. Dun, 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 dun. Louis Vuitton. I think you guys will know which bag this is, especially if you've been watching my videos. But it is my Louis Vuitton Pochette Metis, which I waited over a year to get my hands on because I wanted to ride out those years where there were quality issues. There was kind of like a recall with the glazing issues the glazing was cracking and melting, and I just wanted to ride that wave out and make sure that was cleared. And then, of course, everyone else jumped on the bandwagon, and it was sold out for a really long time. So I have had my eye on this bag for quite a while, and I finally got it last summer. And I did buy it at the boutique here in New York. And it is a made in France, if you were curious, because these bags come made in USA, made in Italy, and made in France. So let's see if I can show you. Can you see that? It's kind of hard to see, but it's a made in France. And I usually put air paper in all of my bags just to keep the structure when I store it. And I always store it in the dust bag upright like so. So I can do a proper 6-month wear and tear update video separately, because as you can see, there's a whole lot of scratching going on here, and that's probably my fault because I don't really look when I close it. I'm like, whatever, especially when I'm on the go. But when you close it, you can't really see the scratches because this buckle goes on top. So I don't mind it at all, and I know that hardware gets scratched, so it was expected. So here, for those of you who are terrified of vachetta leather, I actually sprayed all of this with Apple Guard spray, and I will link the Apple Guard down below in the description box if you are curious to take a look, if you want to buy it. I bought it off of Amazon, and literally I just covered all these areas here on the canvas with paper towels, and then left the vachetta leather kind of bare, naked. And I sprayed it over several times, and as you can see, there's been some slight color change, and it's not from the Apple Guard, I will say. It's because I've worn this out in the rain a number of times without really caring about it. It's funny because one of my subbies said, I think I just saw you. Were you walking along this street right in front of Party City? And I was like, yeah, that was me. And she's like, oh my gosh, that was you. I saw some woman wearing the Pochette Metis in the rain with no umbrella. And I was thinking, oh, how could she do that? Isn't she afraid of the vachetta turning color and getting watermarks? And I was like, oh my gosh, that was totally me. That's so funny. But I did put Apple Guard, so you can see there's no water staining. It's just all one consistent color. It's really pretty. I feel like this color is really pretty. I prefer this over the darker orange color, but I know everyone has their own preferences. But this is the bare naked vachetta. And then after 6 months or so of wearing it out and getting it caught in the rain, I think it looks pretty good. I also spray these little tabs. So let me open it up and show you. What I love about this bag is that it's super lightweight. It can be worn with pretty much any outfit. It can be dressed up, it can be dressed down. It has compartments. I love compartments. So you've got 3 compartments here to keep yourself organized. And then the lining is all super, super soft microfiber. And in the back, there is a zippered compartment, which I love because I put my iPhone 7 Plus in here, and it's just a little easier to access when I'm on the go versus having to open this up to get it from here. So you can see it's all lined again in the matching microfiber, and because this part of the bag is lying flat against my body, sometimes I put my phone in here and I don't even bother to zip it up, so it's just really easy, kind of in and out, in and out. Of course, if I'm going to be, you know, in a crowded area or just in a busy area, I will of course zip it up and keep it secure. And then you do have the detachable strap. So if you did not want to wear the strap, you can just wear it handheld like this. It's really pretty. Or I usually wear this bag crossbody. And see here, it's got really pretty gold hardware. And it's really easy. You just clip it on. I'm sure you guys have seen lots of other videos featuring the Pochette Metis, so I won't go into too much detail, but you just clip it on, and it is adjustable. There's no tarnish on any of the hardware. Like I said, there's some scratching by the buckle or the lock or the closure, but otherwise it's in great shape. See? And I usually actually put this part on the right side of the bag, just like so, because when I wear the bag on my body, I like the buckle to be on the front because if it is sitting on the back side, if I sit down and I lean back on a chair, let's say, I don't like the buckle, the hardware here digging into my back or my shoulder. So just something to keep in mind. But it is convertible and adjustable, so you can make it whichever way that is most comfortable for you. So I use this for work, I use this for the weekends, I use it casually when I'm running around with my kids. I pretty much use this all the time, where I have to remind myself that I have other bags that I should probably rotate, because I do enjoy this bag a lot. So this would be bag number 1 in terms of my luxury handbag purchases for 2019. Okay. Then bag number 2 technically is an SLG, according to Chanel, but I use this definitely as a bag. It is the wallet on chain, and mine is in the black caviar with the silver hardware. This is exactly how I store it, with a piece of felt. And mine is an older model from 2017, but I purchased it in new condition from Fashion File. So as you can see, it has the older snap closure, whereas just recently last year, Chanel came out with a newer model where it's a magnetic closure, so it's much easier to open and close. And then they did also tweak the zipper pull here, so it's a little bit more flat and less prone to indenting the other side. So here you have a wide open pocket that goes all the way down to the very bottom. And that's where I would put my passport if I was traveling, or sometimes I put larger bills in here, or maybe some feminine hygiene products for discretion. You have this really feminine, thin chain that is the classic interwoven caviar leather with the silver hardware, like I said. It is a longer chain strap. So I'm about 5'5", borderline 5'6", and when I wear this on my shoulder, it's definitely a little bit long. It goes below my hip. So I tend to wear it crossbody, and even crossbody it's a little bit long. And there are tricks that you can do to wrap the chain around. There are also clasps that you can purchase to kind of lock those together. So this is a pretty versatile little mini bag that you can wear different ways. You can also just plop the chain on the inside all the way and use it as a little clutch, like so. So I do love the fact that it is, like, you can play around with it, you know, you can make it a little bit different. So here you have one open pocket, and again, I love compartments, so you'll see that. Here I have my zippered compartment where I currently have my authenticity card stored. And then there's another slim open pocket here, and then there are card slots along the other side. So if you didn't want to use a card holder or a small wallet, you can just plop your cards in there to save space. And then it's all burgundy leather lining, but I will say, well, I should say it's leather on this side, and then the rest is sort of like that canvasy fabric. I did purchase this base shaper from M Boutique on Etsy, and I can link that information down below as well in the description box if you're curious. It was only about 20 bucks, and I definitely recommend that you get some form of a base shaper for your wallet on chain, because it really is a game changer in terms of how it kind of holds the structure of the bag and keeps it open and makes it much easier to access your things in and out, because it is such a small bag and it tends to collapse and fold without one of these. So yeah, I would say this is my number 2 because I wear it a lot. I wear it casually, I dress it up. It's just really compact. When I fill it to the brim, it's just kind of like a brick, like a really compact brick. And I just love it. And because it's caviar, I feel like it's really durable. I don't need to fuss over it. I don't need to worry. I did get this caught in very light drizzle, probably 3 or 4 times. It's not protected, but it seems to be holding up quite well. So there you have it. My bag number 2. And then bag number 3. For those of you who have watched my other videos, you might be wondering, like, where's that bag? You know, you might have a bag in mind and you're wondering, why is it not higher up in the list? But I think you'll come to understand as I get lower down this list and cover all the bags. So please stay tuned to hear my explanations. Okay, so this is from Givenchy. It's my only Givenchy bag. And it is my Antigona Mini in the camel color, or sometimes it's listed as caramel. And it has the silver hardware. It's like that really shiny, polished hardware. And I just love this. I love the structure of the bag. I love that it's different from any of my other bags. I tend to be more of a flap bag girl, and I tend to like compartments. This has neither. This is a zipper, obviously. And very few compartments, I will show you. But still, I don't know. And I was kind of on the fence about this bag. I mean, I was not on the fence about the look of this bag. I had been looking at the Antigona collection for probably, I don't know, almost 2 years before I bought this. I admired it on other people and all the different sizes, and I thought the shiny black one was really classic, but I wasn't sure about the zipper, because if you guys watched my original review video of this bag, I was concerned about the zipper scraping my hand when I go in and out. But over time, I will say that the leather has softened and the opening has become more pliable, whereas in the beginning it was kind of like this. And I'd be like, ah, my hand. And now it's wider, so it doesn't necessarily touch my knuckles or my hand when I go in. And I was concerned about the D-rings because it's kind of a funky design. I don't know why Givenchy did this, but so the strap itself, I'm sorry, I keep bumping into my tripod here that's holding my phone. So it's a really beautiful strap. It's removable, it's adjustable, it's got really nice detailing. It's got these little, I don't know what these are, these little doohickeys that are really edgy. It's really nicely done. There are enough leather tabs or straps here that you won't have any, what is that called? Excess leather curling. That's a pet peeve of mine. It keeps it nice and tidy, as you can see. There's no curling going on. But a lot of people complain about the D-rings because there's an opening here. So there's no way to really, really securely close the strap clasps. You just have to match up the two D-rings. And they go in like this. And once in a while, they do come out on their own. Like if you were to plop the bag down somewhere, they might match up somehow miraculously and then plop out. So in the last 6 months or so, I would say maybe 3 times that's happened to me where one side, the strap would just come off. And one time I was wearing this crossbody and I got up, I stood up, and the bag was like hanging on one like this, which is really not cool, right? It's not cool. So is it enough of an annoyance for me that I would get rid of this bag? No, I do like it. I love the color so much. It's, like I said, very different from the rest of my bags, and I like to have a diverse selection because I don't want all my bags to look the same, and I almost never, well, I've never bought duplicates, so I wouldn't buy the Givenchy Antigona Mini and then another Givenchy Antigona in a different size or in a different color or different leather. I just stick with one of each so that I can have just a lot of different options to play around with. Here on the inside, you have this really light canvas color, so it's easy to find your belongings. And then, oops, here's a zippered compartment. There's some feminine hygiene products in there. And then I have, I'll keep this in there, one open pocket that's perfect for a card holder. And then I have this elasticized pocket that sometimes I plop my keys in there. And the rest is just this one open compartment, and there's like some pieces of paper. Okay, so this is bag number 3, just because I feel like it is a different kind of bag. It adds different color, structure, and design to my wardrobe, and I'm really enjoying using it more than I actually expected because of my initial concerns. But this is definitely a keeper for the long run. Okay, bag number 4. This is newer. I just got my hands on this at the tail end of 2019, but I have to say I'm really enjoying using it. So it is a Saline bag. It did not come with this paper. I got this from, like, I don't know, I probably ordered this from Amazon or some random department store, and it came with this paper, and I like to use it on the Saline box because I'll show you there are some really sharp edges here, and I didn't want it to rub against the smooth calf skin and then potentially scratch it up or ruin it while it's in storage. So what just happened here? Okay, so here it is. My Saline Classic Box Bag in the medium size. Again, smooth calfskin leather with the aged gold hardware. It has Saline in there. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's Saline Paris on the inside. So it's very discreet, very understated. I really love this bag because it makes me feel ladylike and it makes me feel like a grown-up. And it is also very understated and doesn't scream designer. So, you know, when you're going somewhere and you don't really want that attention on your bag, then I feel like this is a really great option. I, again, love compartments. So you've got 2 open pockets here, another one here, a larger compartment here, and then a zippered compartment. It's all just really well made. The interior of the bag is all buttery soft lambskin. I have review videos that go more in depth for each of these bags, so I will link all of those down below in the description box in case you want to check them out. But the reason why I didn't put this bag higher on my list is because it is definitely one of the heavier bags. It might be the heaviest bag from this whole selection here. It does have a removable, this is removable, and also adjustable strap. It's removable, so you could technically use this as a clutch, but I think it's quite large and also quite heavy and a bit bulky to use as a clutch. I like to wear this crossbody, and this is the only bag that for some reason I enjoy wearing crossbody higher up on my body, like above, slightly above my waist. I just think it looks really chic that way. And then of course you can also just sling it on one shoulder and wear it as a shoulder bag. That also looks very classy. One thing about this bag, it is probably prone to scratches. There's a tiny little scratch there that you can see in the sunlight. And then sometimes if I put lotion on my hands, my fingerprints will show up as well because it is this very polished leather. Not as much as like if you were touching patent leather. It wouldn't be as dramatic, but sometimes I do notice little prints, and I just kind of rub them out with my clothes or a tissue, and it's fine. But you might be able to see it, like here. Those are my fingerprints. There are various sizes, leathers, and colors. So some people opt for the liege leather, which is the more grainy one that has texture going across. It's kind of reminds me a little bit like the Louis Vuitton Epi leather. It looks very durable. This is not water resistant at all. I saw another YouTube review where she was saying she got caught in the rain and the leather started to bubble up, and she had to quickly remedy it with a dryer so that it would settle down. So yeah, this is my grown-up bag. And that is bag number 4. Bag number 5, maybe the one you guys have been waiting for, because for those of you who have been around my channel for a little while, you know I've gone through a long journey with Chanel. And I purchased 2 brand new Chanel Classic flaps in the medium large size in black caviar with silver hardware, which to me is like the classic bag for me. I'm not into the gold hardware because I feel like the silver goes better with my skin tone. I don't know why, but anyway, so that is like the holy grail bag for me. But unfortunately, both of those bags had to be returned to the boutique because there were some quality issues. And then I wound up finding this beauty. Oh, this is just my mess. I do that to protect the chains from rubbing against the leather. So this, I mean, this was I was going for caviar, but when I saw this lambskin, it looked so luscious and soft and smooth and everything on the Fashion File website, and it was listed in very good condition. But when I looked at the description, I was like, I feel like it's more excellent condition, and the price was absolutely amazing. I saved so much money on this bag, so I went for it, and I did an antibacterial cleanse. I have a video on that. I did a whole handbag spa treatment, and I feel like it's looking really good. So this is a made in France. It's got the burgundy lining. This bag is from the year 2000, so it is 20 years old. It is vintage. Here there's a little bit of wear in terms of, you know, the creasing, because I'm sure the previous owner opened and closed and pulled this out, which is fine. I'm fine with that. The quilting is a little bit flatter, but again, for a 20-year-old bag, I think it's in great condition. And I just love this bag. So why is it so far down in my list? Well, it's not that far down, right? I only have 7 bags I'm talking about today, and it's number 5. So it's not like I have 40 bags and it's number 36, right? So I had to be really choosy with how I was going to rank them. But it's because I've owned this for a few months now and I've never worn it. I don't know. Something about, I don't know if I just hype it up in my head. But I think if it was caviar, I probably would have worn it more casually. But because it's lambskin, I feel like I have this expectation that I need to wait for a special occasion, and that's just in my head. But I do love it, and every time I bring it out of the dust bag, my heart just flutters, and every time I touch it or smell it, I get excited. It is so soft, so buttery soft. I wish I could just wrap myself in this feeling. And like I said, I got a really good price. I paid a little less for this than the cost of what a mini rectangular flap would be retail currently. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, the only reason why I put this down as number 5 on the list is because I've not used it yet. And the more use I get out of it, I'm sure the higher up it will go in terms of ranking. But for now, number 5 it is. Okay, and then I have bag number, oh, it's so lonely. Lonely sitting here by itself. Bag number 6. And I do have bag number 7, but I don't have it with me, so I will explain. So bag number 6 was a total impulse purchase. This is a Valentino rock stud bag in the medium size, black velvet with champagne hardware. I say it was a impulse purchase because I was eyeing the rock stud collection for a long time. You can see a theme here. I tend to wait a long time for the bags that I want. But I was never considering velvet. When I saw this bag listed on Fashion File for under $1,000, I was like, are you kidding me? Under $1,000? And it was winter. It was right around the holidays. I was feeling very festive, and I felt like that could be such a perfect holiday bag. It can be a cute little clutch. I can carry it like this, or I can carry it just like that. I just thought it was so pretty, and it was in excellent condition. There is some wear here with a little bit of creasing at the top and some bending of the handle, but I feel like that would have happened pretty much right away if I bought a new one too. There's a little bit of scratching here. It's all lambskin, beautiful lambskin on the inside. The classic Valentino red. You've got an open pocket here, and then a zippered compartment here. And the original price, guys, was $2,595, but like I said, I was able to snag this for under $1,000. And I had to rank this as number 6 because it's definitely a seasonal bag. It's not something I'm going to wear to work. It's not something I'm going to wear in the summer or even in the spring. I feel like it's definitely a festive holiday season bag, so it's limited. And I'm really glad I did not pay full retail price for this because of that. It also does not come with the matching chain strap, so I'm sure that was why it was priced so low. But I don't mind because I don't know if you can tell, I'm not into chain straps. The only chain that I'm okay with is the interwoven one from Chanel where it has leather. I feel like that just makes it a little less cold to the touch and also less heavy. With that being said, I am eyeing the Chanel reissue, which has totally chain strap, like it's 100% chain strap. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I wasn't dying to have the chain strap to this. I'm fine without it. And like I said, I was planning to wear it more in my hand versus on my shoulder. But yeah, I had to rank it number 6 because how often can I really use this, guys, right? And this will probably be my only Rockstud bag. I did purchase 2 other Valentino bags last year that were just not for me, and I returned them pretty quickly. I did videos on those unboxings as well, and many of you helped me decide which one to keep, and a lot of you voted for this one, so here it is. And then bag number 7 I don't have. It's the last bag. It's like got the last spot in the ranking. It's the Gucci Soho shoulder bag in the black grained leather, calfskin leather. It's got the big GG in the front and really nice polished heavy silver chain strap with, I know, I wish I had a photo of it, with also like a leather portion at the top so it's comfy on your shoulder. But, excuse me, but the bag was too big for me and it was a little too heavy and I didn't have much use for it. So I wore it maybe about a dozen times to work. And then I thought, I'm not using this enough, so I need to get rid of it. And I sent a photo to my mom and she said she really, really liked it. So I gave it to her. So it's now hers. And I wish I had a photo. I have a really cute photo of my mom wearing the bag and she's smiling from ear to ear. And I wish I had printed that out so I could show you guys, but it's on my phone and I'm filming with my phone, so I can't show you. But that would be bag number 7 because I realized that it just wasn't the right bag for me, but I'm really happy that my mom is getting good use out of it. So let me just show you all the bags together. Oh goodness. I don't know. Is there a neat way to do this? I don't know what I'm doing. So these are just, this is here just like a mishmash, a pile of the 6 bags that I showed you today that I'm really happy with, and the 7th one that my mom is really happy with. And you know, there are some questions out there around like how many bags can one person really have, or what's the limit? Do you just keep up buying more and more and more bags until your whole place is surrounded by bags? I don't know. Some people have lots of bags. If you look at the other YouTubers out there, they have beautiful collections and they have, I don't know, probably 50 bags or more. And they have huge closets and it's all really nicely displayed. That's not my style. I do love to watch those videos because you get inspiration and just some really pretty eye candy. But that's not my style. I also don't have the space because I live in an apartment in New York and Manhattan living does not allow you to have huge walk-in closets full of just bags, right? So I do need to be realistic. But in general, I tend to get a little bit stressed out when I have too many things around me. Like I feel kind of cluttered and suffocated. So I think I'm going to keep my luxury handbag collection, you know, fairly limited. This is still a lot of money that I spent, so I realize that this is not a small collection, but it's also relatively not a huge collection compared to some of the other people out there. But I'm very happy with this 6 right now. Maybe I will add 1 bag this year. I'm trying to decide if I want the Chanel reissue. I can't. I'm not sure. And people have asked me if I have a 2020 wish list. I don't have a wish list. I don't think I've ever really had a wish list. For bags. Yeah, so we'll see. If you guys have any suggestions as to what you think would round out this group here, please let me know. I noticed that it's a lot of black, so I probably need a pop of color. I did recently purchase the Chanel Square Mini in the dark pink. It's from the 18B season, the dark pink color. Caviar, silver heart. I mean, it was like a dream. I was so happy to find that bag. But then, long story short, I found out it had been altered and I didn't like the price I paid for it given that it was altered and not advertised properly. So I returned it back to Fashion File. I did do a video on that if you want to check it out. So that would have been my pop of color because it was like a raspberry pinkish red that was absolutely gorgeous. But I'm not going to pay, you know, a price that I feel like I don't want to feel like a sucker. I'm always looking for a good deal and good quality. So please let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions or ideas for me. And I will probably cap my luxury handbag collection to no more than, like, in my lifetime, it'll probably never exceed a dozen. 12. I do have other handbags that are not shown here that I did not purchase in 2019. So they're older. I purchased them in, you know, a couple of years ago that I still use and I love. My Saint Laurent toy Lulu. I love my toy Lulu. My Celine trio. So I do have others, but I wanted to focus on my purchases from 2019. These bags are all still very much available, except for the vintage. You have to get it on the secondhand market. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would love for you to join. And please give this video a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.